Hi everybody, welcome to, you know what this is?
Aikidoflow.
Yes, get to know. Okay, listen, we all live busy lives, okay? Now, if I wasn't so busy, okay, I know one thing I would be doing is learning different martial arts, okay? I would love to know all the techniques from all martial arts, but to be honest, you know, I only have time for Aikido, plus Aikido really suits what I do and what I need it for, okay? When I was young, I used to get into, fights, okay? And I'm sure that anybody who trains in martial arts has been in a situation where they've had a fight, and after the fight, they've gone back to the dojo, they've practiced it, and they've said, they thought back and thought, wow, when I had that fight, I really wish I knew this technique, because I would have used that. This is what I would have done, this is what I should have done. So today, we're gonna have a look at this. When I was a young teenage boy, okay, my secondary school, I grew up in Kilburn, northwest London.
You still are young. What are you talking about?
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Ignore the grey beard. You know, it's called grey beard of the South.
You're still young.
I'm still young.
We all love you, man. We all love you.
Yeah, I grew up in Kilburn, which is where we're at now. But I went to school all the way in Finchley, North Finchley, to a school called Finchley Catholic High School, okay? Now I remember in my whole year, there was probably about, I think 2 or 3 black guys. And I was one of them. So I experienced a lot of racism. Now, back then I wasn't so calm. I feel like I'm a lot calmer now, but back then, you know, you call me the N-word or anything similar to that, my instinct was to go, boom, punch in the face. That was my reaction, you know, it was just instinctive. Okay, now we get into a fight, boom, 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 boom. And to be honest, I never lost a fight in school, never, okay? But what would happen afterwards, I get pulled up to the headmaster say, oh, you've been fighting again, blah, blah. I say, yeah, well, you know, he called me the N-word, you know. What, are you racist too? This is your school. What are you doing at the school to combat racism? And blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's go back to class. And that's how I used to play it down, okay? But I had so many fights, got to a point where I sat in my form class, I looked around at everybody and I realized that I've had a fight with each and every single person in this room. Sometimes it would end up a full-on fight. Sometimes it was just me punching them in the face and then walking away saying, oh, what was that for? But I remember like after having fights, you know, when I started learning Aikido in the dojo later on in life, I'd still think about those fights and I think to myself, why didn't I do this? I wish I knew this now. You know, then when that boy attacked me and when there was a big dude in the year above me, you know, I would have done this, I would have done that. And I used to dwell on it a lot. And I'm sure that a lot of people do that, okay? So, we're gonna show you something today. Okay, when I used to fight in school, okay, this is how the fights went down. It was literally just throwing punches. Punch off spot, boom, 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 boom. We just throw random punches and use punch, because pretty much that's all we knew. That's all the techniques we knew, punches, okay? Now, I remember later on going to the dojo, learning certain things, and I think to myself, all of my fights would end up in a struggle. I always end up in a struggle here, be struggling, you know, be struggling here. There's always end up like that. And then from here, I remember often not knowing what to do. I wouldn't know what to do from here. And I remember later on training and I was thinking something so simple and so straightforward. Why didn't I just grab the back of the head and go bang? Just a simple grab the head down, boom, bring it down to the knee and nice knee to the face. It could be to the groin, it could have been to the solar plexus or boom to the face. End it, done. But I never knew what to do in that situation. But that move was just so straightforward and so basic and so easy and so effective. Why don't I just do that? But it's like later on in life, I learnt that. And that technique works so well.
We still love you, Az. In the comments, who loves Azu? Please, in the comments. Question. A lot of people say that what we do is not Aikido. So my question to Azu is that doesn't look like any Aikido move that I've seen. So,
Well, look,
are there any parts of it that are Aikido? And what's the story?
look, there are definitely parts of it that are Aikido, okay? But for me, okay,
That's not Aikido.
for me, Aikido is like a scaffolding, okay? Scaffolding where, you can, construct something, build around something, and eventually from that you can learn other things. I always looked at other martial arts and took other bits and I applied it to my Aikido. And that's how our Aikido developed in some way. We would just take bits and change it, but the fundamentals and the basis of it and the foundations of it is Aikido.
Are you interfering with the purity of Aikido?
To be honest, yes. Yes. Because what annoyed me about Aikido growing up was going to certain dojos and them telling me, no, I have to do it this way. I have to put my foot here, I have to put my foot there. But I found it it works better for me if I put my foot here, if I move here, or I use this, instead of using this, or do this instead of using that. Why can't I do that and experiment with it?
But isn't Aikido supposed to be a certain way though?
Maybe, but in our dojo, we give people the room to experiment. We like to be able to develop it and to make it grow, because I feel like it is quite based on quite old-fashioned techniques. So, things have changed. Aikido comes from, the samurais. Now people walk around with guns and knives. We need to adapt our techniques into today.
Why weren't those? But why weren't those old techniques work today? What's changed?
Because people's mentality have changed. I remember when I was young, when you would have beef with somebody, as they call it, and you would say, me and you in the park, we fight it out. So we go to the park, all your mates will form a circle and you fight it out. After the fight, you shake hands, you all go to McDonald's and you chill. Nowadays, that doesn't happen. People jump on you, his mates jump on you, people come with knives. It's never one-on-one anymore. They don't care these days. Before we had chivalry. Chivalry is gone now. We don't have that anymore. So things have changed completely, and that's why, in some ways, that's why I could have a fight in the playground where I'm punching people and we're struggling this and that, because I know everyone's crowding around, they're just saying, fight, 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 fight. Now, I can't do that because I know his mate's gonna come up and kick me in the head. So I need to end it quickly. And that's where we need to change Aikido, because Aikido was all about not using strength, use the person's energy. But I feel like a lot of the Aikido techniques didn't do enough damage. And to be honest, this technique kind of, in a way, just derived from technique, because we had a technique called Kaitanagi. We used to practice it like this. We go here and we turn here and we come here, get the person off balance, and then this would be a throw. The elbow goes to a shoulder, I push the head down and we throw them, okay? Now, Kaitanagi, eventually we developed a different way. We practice it like this. So let's say the person goes to throw a punch, bang! That was now a strike here, boom, and I'll grab the head and then I will go bang. The knee will come, I pull the head bang down, and then I throw. That's how we changed it up. We made it a lot quicker, boom, a bit more aggressive, and the throw came in at the end. We just added a few more bits to it to make it a bit more devastating, because I know if I try to do the original way, I'm throwing a person away, they're getting up and they're coming back. Or they're getting up, they're walking away, and they're going to their car, or getting on their phone, and then they're coming back with something or someone else. So the aim was now to, boom, hurt that person, take them down. So in a way, that's what this kind of derived from. And this is where I learned it and thought I could have implemented this bit of this technique when I was in school. But I never knew that in school. As basic and simple as that technique was, head down, knee to the face, I never thought of it in school. It was all about throwing punches. So, in conclusion, okay, the thing about fighting is that fighting needs to be, it's always spontaneous. I remember when I had a fight with a boy the year above me when I was in school. And I remember not remembering much about the fight, but everyone told me that every single punch I threw landed on this boy's face. And when I saw him the next day, I believed it. This boy was black and blue, okay? So, you know, but it was just, my instincts just took over. Now, unfortunately, you cannot plan a technique in a fight. The only way you can plan a technique in a fight is if somebody is standing in front of you and you know it's going to be confrontation, you know there's going to be some sort of confrontation, physical confrontation, and you're analysing, you're watching their stance, you're watching their body language, and you do something. Then you can kind of plan it, as long as you're attacking first. But in a fight, it's impossible to plan. The best thing you can do is just train hard enough so that any movement becomes instinct. It just becomes instinctive. So you're not planning it. And then all these techniques, you will learn them for every scenario, and hopefully you'll never be in a situation where you'll look back and say, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that, because you will always do the right move.
Yeah.